Good morning, Highlands. It's Friday, January 15th. Happy New Year. I'm Jacob Makovsky.
And I'm Daniela Suarez. Almost 1 year ago today, NHTV aired the first morning show in 10 years. On today's show, we're going to look back on how we got where we are today. But today is not just our anniversary show. It's also jam-packed with updates of coronavirus, a look at one of our Highlanders featured on NJ.com, and how our very own Miss Goldberg got featured on PBS documentary.
As Daniela said, this is our first anniversary show, and NHTV reporter Alyssa Post takes us back to our first episode and shows us how we got to where we are today and some of our accomplishments along the way.
On January 17, 2020, the broadcast television class, formerly known as Digital Media, made Northern Highlands history by airing its first morning show in 10 years. Mr. Nadal, a new teacher to the school, surprised everyone by wanting to start up a morning show, but he was ready to take on the task because of his previous experience working on the news. The first couple episodes took a couple takes before they were ready to be aired, but the more shows we made, the more comfortable we became. Some episodes were not actually NHTV, but instead Studio 225, where we showed short films made by Highland students. We were making consistent episodes until COVID-19 hit, and then we went into quarantine. Nobody on the NHTV staff knew how we were going to make it work, but Mr. Nadal came up with a solution to how we can make a show from home. The writers would write a script throughout the week, and then both the Period 4 and Period 6 hosts would combine to make one show at the end of the week. The hosts would go into a Google Meet and would all take turns reading from a script, and then it would be edited and cleaned up later. Northern Highlands was one of the only schools to be doing the show during the beginning of quarantine, and even got recognized in NJ.com for it. And our teacher, Mr. Nadal, got interviewed on CBS 2 News for continuing the show even when we were virtual, and our school soon became an example for other schools. Towards the end of the school year, the group effort of making NHTV led to Mr. Nadal winning the Heart of a Hero award. The money from the award was taken and given to families in our school who were struggling to buy food during this pandemic.
Huge impact. I'll tell you what, I don't know how we would have gotten through the end of last year, especially being shut down. It really kept a connection between what was happening with school with our students, which was absolutely, in my mind, a huge success and very necessary at that point in time.
As the 2020-2021 school year started up again, we had to figure out how to make the show work with our new hybrid schedule. Instead of filming the show on different days, just so everyone can film in the studio, we decided to film on a group call again. Although, as Northern Highlands fully shut down again, we switched up the show style a little bit and had the reporters doing a lot more stories with interviews and videos rather than just having the host read announcements. Some teachers and students actually saw NHTV as a career opportunity.
So I think in terms of giving kids an opportunity to pursue something fun that's also a potential career is amazing.
And also for the people taking the classes, being able to enhance their skills in editing and in filming, and being able to interact with a possible career opportunity.
Throughout the year, our show has changed a lot from the first episode, but we are proud to have gotten so many accomplishments along the way. From NHTV, I'm Alyssa Post.
It's been a year of ups and downs for our morning show, and wouldn't you like to see how we adapted to the online production? Let's take a look.
1 year ago today, Northern Highlands Regional High School brought back the school morning show, where students in the digital production class came together to use their production, film, and organization skills to collaborate on a project now known as NHTV.
Congratulations, Highlanders. You're officially watching Highlands history as we kick off the first morning show in more than a decade.
This platform was a great way for students to receive information about what was going on in the school and stay updated about what was happening globally.
When we started doing the morning show, I was kind of happy because we did that back in middle school and I liked it there, so I was pretty happy to be able to do it again.
The show began to climb, each production holding better quality than the last, until Corona struck, and the show was forced to continue virtually.
The students actually all chipped in and gave their advice whether they first wanted to do the morning show, which was an option. It could have been completely shut down, or did they want to find another way to put it together?
Students had mixed emotions about how it was going to play out. Some excited.
I was very happy that we were able to continue our show during virtual instruction because it wasn't just something that could provide normalcy for me or even just providing normalcy for our class. It was kind of normalcy for our whole school.
and some rather nervous.
I was a bit confused on how we were gonna do it.
Many doubts about this uncharted territory surfaced, making the team question if they could pull it off.
The doubts was whether we were going to be able to put together a show that just looked good. We didn't want to just put something on that didn't look good.
I knew it was gonna be a lot of work, but we got through it.
I definitely thought that it would work. And I mean, it's certainly very different, but I never doubted that we could do it.
However, with the hard work and determination of the whole team,
The students with another year under their belt in the advanced class have really done a nice job in producing packages and putting things together, again, with limited resources.
the new switch to an online production of the show was a success.
Good morning, Iowa.
COVID has been tough for everyone this year, and it's important to stay informed. Giving us an update is NHTV reporter Georgia Caracado.
Due to the spread of COVID-19, there are uncertainties about the effects of school reopenings, with transmission about the prospects for dual COVID-19 outbreaks heading into colder months. Vaccine trials are heading into phases 2 and 3, and the FDA reliance on emergency authorization to deliver vaccines and raising concerns about how quickly the vaccine came out and approval processes for vaccines potentially offered to millions of otherwise healthy people.
The distribution of vaccines among different demographic groups, when you have a situation where there isn't enough vaccine right from the beginning to give it to everybody who wants it. So there has to be a prioritization.
Some good news is that Dr. Fauci said that concerts and performances can return in the fall of 2021 if everything goes right. Right now at Highlands, school is still all virtual, and the position of the union says that we should continue to stay closed. There is currently a waiting list for the teachers to get the COVID-19 vaccine. COVID has been a tough time for everyone, especially students.
I feel like for me personally, it's been kind of a struggle just because I know I get easily distracted, and being at home all the time is hard for me socially too because I don't get to see my friends every day, but I'm definitely trying to make the most of it.
All right, so not seeing my friends every day is kind of a bit of a struggle, but I mean, we make it work. Sometimes I do school with like in little pods with my friends, but it's never that many people because we're still trying to be safe, but it's just been harder recently.
Have you been adjusting to virtual learning since we went all virtual?
Yeah, I feel like I have just because we've been virtual since before Thanksgiving, so I feel like now I know what my teacher's style of teaching is now and how the classes are going to work.
So I've been all virtual this entire time since March when this whole thing happened. So I've pretty much been adjusting since March.
I know this pandemic hasn't been ideal for anyone, but it's so important that we all stay positive during this time.
And in Highlands news, attention seniors. Friday, January 22nd is the last day to order your 2021 yearbook. To order your yearbook, go to www.ball4.com. Looking for a way to lend a hand? Education for All has put together the Donation Box fundraiser. They're looking to collect Lysol wipes, tissues, face masks, face shields, and other sanitary supplies until Friday, January 29th. Come drop something off outside the Northern Highlands front entrance and DM a picture of your donation to @educationforall_NH for the chance to win a $15 Amazon gift card. For more info about the collection, send an email to Brianna Schulstad or Isha Agarwal.
Northern Highlands senior and graphic artist Noreen Hosny was recently recognized by NorthJersey.com for her Amazon charitable work. Jamie Lebowitz has the latest.
Just weeks ago, Northern Highlands senior Noreen Hosny was recognized by NorthJersey.com. Noreen is a senior this year at Northern Highlands and is a graphic artist who has worked a lot inside and outside of school in the past couple of years. She has created many things at Highlands, such as the Government Inspector play cover and even the NHTV logo. But she was recently recognized for helping struggling nonprofit organizations with her graphic design skills. Digital arts teacher Miss Albano has more to say on this topic.
She was really good right from the get-go, and she produced a lot of work, high-quality work, in a short amount of time. And she was always someone who was always doing stuff on her own time. So she would always submit to Scholastic Award every year. She took her own photo of, I think, her grandmother, and then she submitted that, and then I think that won a Scholastic Gold Key Award. It always makes me feel super proud when one of my students is successful outside the classroom, especially when there's someone who's going to take their time and talents and then use it to make the world a better place.
Now let's listen to what Noreen Hosny has to say about her achievements.
I started a pro bono graphic design service for nonprofits because a lot of times hiring a graphic designer to do all of your logos and infographics, it takes a lot of money, almost like up to $4,000. And especially during COVID-19, when they would get all of their funds from fundraisers and all these events where everybody's like crowded together, they didn't have those fundraisers, so they lacked a lot of funds. Oh, I was like so shocked when I was recognized on NHTV.com. I love graphic design so much because you can really do anything with it. You can use it in any field, especially because I want to be a science major in college. And it's difficult to get people involved, especially when you have like such complicated data and you want to let people know like there's something happening, especially with climate change. So it's actually good, to get people involved and bring awareness.
For NHTV, I'm Jamie Leibovitz.
And now it's sports time. Here's Ty with a look at a couple of winter sports previews. Ty?
Thanks, Jacob. Unfortunately, due to COVID, the start of winter sports at Highlands have been postponed. Both hockey and basketball will have to wait that much longer to start their seasons. For Highlands hockey, the team will look to improve on last year and win some more silverware. The team is led by seniors Mason Prue, Joey D'Alicio, and Jonathan Biddy. Highlands lost a lot of talent with the graduating class of 2020, so younger players will have to step up in order for the team to be successful. For Highlands basketball, the boys' teams will return its leading scorer in Billy Klarman and will also return other key players like Luke Barthel and Matt Hammer. The boys had a decent year last year, but they're hungry to win more. They have a new head coach this year and will look to make the most of whatever the season offers. The girls' team are also returning many key players as well. The team will be led by Emma Starr and Anna Shudo, but they will have the help of Lindsay Sparago and Kelly Kunzel as well. Whenever these teams do return to action, all of them will be hungry and look to compete right away. In pro sports, the NFL will kick off the divisional round playoffs this weekend with some very intriguing matches. The reigning Super Bowl champions and the Kansas City Chiefs will face off against the Cleveland Browns, who upset the Steelers last week in a high-scoring affair. Brady and Breeze will play each other at least one more time as the Bucs take on the Saints. Aaron Rodgers will look to stay on his hot streak against the Rams, and Josh Allen will look to outplay Lamar Jackson as the Bills take on the Ravens. That's all for Highland Sports today. Now let's head back to Danielle to wrap up today's show.
Thanks, Ty. And finally today, for our first anniversary, we leave you a kind of time capsule look at the last year on NHTV.
Good morning, Highland. Today it's Friday, January 17th, and I'm Brooke Boyer.
And I'm Jacob McCoskey.
I'm Olivia Ross.
And I'm Dan Talkwood.
I'm Daniela Suarez.
I'm Ty Pennington.
I'm Sebastian Lau.
I'm Gianna Pignatelli.
I'm Griffin Healy. I'm Thomas Finan.
I'm Katie Kaminsky.
I'm Chelsea Chemin.
Dope.
Morning, Highlanders.
Get ready, the fastest moving show on TV starts right now.
Since September, Australia has been battling its worst wildfires in decades.
Like tennis, but don't like to run as quite as much.
Highlands hopes that these breezeway gates,
a low dropping to 31.
Kobe Bryant, along with 8 others, were unfortunately killed.
The Highlands community is ecstatic as the spring musical swiftly approaches.
Each one will help to save 3 lives.
Concerns are rising around the world, and the death toll is rising in China surrounding the flu-like coronavirus.
Super Tuesday has finally arrived, and the competition is intense.
Justin Gradsky, who we see here, winning the championship for the 285-pound weight class.
And we are your senior class president.
Today we have a very exciting and important announcement for all seniors.
Many students feel that school starting later would help that problem.
The teacher who earns the most cash will get smashed, and it will be broadcast right there on the morning show.
Boys basketball team beat Montville High School in round 1 of the state tournament.
Thanks, Sebas, and that's our show for today.
We're just 10 days away from warmer weather as finger crossed spring begins on March 19th.
The first 2 cases of COVID-19 in New Jersey has been identified in Bergen County.
Hopefully you brought an umbrella because there'll be lots and lots of rain all day, so if you didn't, you're gonna get soaked in the rain.
Mike Bloomberg leads the presidential race.
While there are no cases reported yet among the Highlands community, the school has now begun taking recommended precautions and pre-planning for a virus outbreak here.
This past Monday, the stock market crashed.
and there are growing concerns that March Madness will have to be played behind closed doors.
The uncertainty and fear of the coronavirus has affected supply chains.
As a school, we need to make sure that we respond based on fact and not fear.
And it's official. Sports won't be there for us at a time of crisis.
Be healthy and safe. We will see you here next week.
Good evening, Highlands. Today is Friday, March 20th.
The period 4 and 6 classes are teaming up to keep the morning show alive during this global and historical crisis.
As far as we know it, we are the only high school morning show in all of America still producing a morning show. 38 of our students have qualified to compete at DECA's International Career Development Conference. The numbers are rising throughout the state as testing becomes more accessible.
The message has been clear. Do not gather or meet with others at this time.
Tom Brady announced he will not resign with the Patriots.
Thanks, Ty. In other free agent news, the Panthers signed Teddy Bridgewater.
Allendale has at least 6 confirmed cases of the coronavirus.
But the coronavirus has also made a major impact on local businesses in our own town.
You know, the restaurant industry was one of the hardest hit.
Announced the following students earned awards for their photographs from Northern Highlands. Mirabella Stannon, who won the grand prize for her photograph titled The Mystery. And it's being called the Birthday Caravan.
Mr. D. Michelle, a teacher in the history department, has achieved their goal of going from 225 pounds to 158.5 pounds.
Here's where we give thanks to our own Chef David, who is making sure all free lunch students in the Allendale community get those needs.
Keeping with our Highlands family, if you think our teachers are living it up without you, you couldn't be more wrong.
Projects that we got were blowing us away. You know, some of the students went above and beyond.
Although coronavirus has negatively affected us, nature has bounced back.
Hey Highlands, Mr. Mugno here, down in my war room. Just want to say that I miss my students.
Please join us in welcoming the latest Highlander to the family. This Wednesday, the Beatties were made a family of 3.
I'm Mr. Walsh, and this is my house.
That short film, Doubt, which won Best Screenplay at the Ramapo College High School Film Festival this past November, joined 2 films by Kimmy Edelson and Laura Benveniste, which were accepted into the Kent Place Film Festival.
And for right here in New Jersey, there has been some upsetting news that came this past Wednesday, informing us that our lockdown and quarantine will be extended to June 5th.
But many are arguing that the drive-ins don't need to be closed at all.
Thanks, Tom. How's it going, Highlands? Zoe and I are back with your weekly weather.
All of us here on the NHTV broadcasting team want to simply say, thanks, Mom. Happy Mother's Day. Mr. Kiley from the English department and his wife gave birth to a brand new baby boy, Beckett Joseph Kiley.
Stay safe, stay healthy, stay home.
Starting off, shout out to the Highland staff.
More cities impose curfews and states call in the National Guard.
At first, the riots started peacefully, but they quickly escalated. And now, Minneapolis is a complete disaster.
Thanks, Danielle. On Monday, the weather will be...
To the cast and crew of NHTV, a huge thank you.
I can't tell you how proud I am of you.
And that's our final show for the year. Be safe, be well, good luck, and thank you, Highlands. Things look a little different. We're thrilled to be back for another year of NHTV.
We'll be keeping you up to date with the latest news, sports, and weather.
It's an interesting time we're living in, especially for students going back to school.
Highlands was caught by surprise when a high-pressure gas line was hit and punctured. As a result, the entire school was forced to evacuate.
This is Ty here in the control room of the NHTV studios.
I'm AJ Alawalia, and this is the weather.
It's time.
A good day to take your dog on a walk, or even drive a car.
Ha! That's not me. It's simply just a cardboard recreation or cutout of me.
Books are fun. The weather's better. I'm a little tied up right now. Literally. You sure are, Mr. Morning, Highlands. Yeah, hey, you're on in 1. Hey, Highlands. Why didn't you tell me we were starting? Welcome back to Entertainment Now. Whoa! Spooky. 4 more years!
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
Halloween! Welcome to our first ever horror show.
Is it science fiction or just a strange piece of artwork?
Knowing that you're COVID negative might make it feel a bit better to give Grandma and Pop a hug for Thanksgiving. So on Monday, hundreds of area residents came to Highlands to get a free COVID-19 test. Reporter Georgia Caracado is here to give us a recap.
Everyone is so ready for 2020 to be over.
Good morning, Highlands.
Good morning, Highlands. Have a good weekend.
And that's our show for today. Thanks for joining us.
Remember to stay safe, see you next time, and good morning, Highlands.